Checking in live from the city of Brussels in Belgium. This is your third stop of the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup today in the beautiful Parc Josaphat in this beautiful capital. My name is Egon. I'm going to be your host for today, and I'm being joined by the one and only local legend, Stan. Stan, can you tell us a bit more about the city?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Egon. I'm very excited to be here at the second edition of Brussels Urban Sessions right here in beautiful Josaphat Park, located in the heart of Brussels. There are so many beautiful things to see in this beautiful city, like the Atomium, for example, not far away from here. And as you can see, there is the Hurricane Skate Park set up in the beautiful Josaphat Skate Park, a beautiful green piece in the middle of the city.
Yeah, so to another shout out to the guys from Hurricane Parks. They built this beautiful setup here. Now for today, what you got lined up is the women's finals. We couldn't do the semifinals yesterday because we had a huge downpour. It was a biblical rain that hit us before we could get started. Now let's get started on the park, Stan.
Yeah, there's some amazing features of this skate park. As you can see on the right, there's a spine step down with a really big landing. There's a really big box jump with steep landings on either side, a step up, also a lot of bank walls, which makes a lot of air tricks a little bit easier. So you might see a lot of progressive tricks on that today. Also a wall ride on the right-hand side, classic spine, obviously. And here you see a Spox, which is kind of like a mix between a box jump and a spine.
A beautiful setup. What we've been hearing from the riders is that they're very tough to clear. Now, talking about this final, instead of 12 riders, we're going to have 24 riders riding in 4 heats of 6 riders. Each rider is going to get 2 runs of 60 seconds to show the judges what they have up their sleeves. And this final, the best run will count towards their final score.
Yeah, and that score will be made up by the judging panel. And the judges are looking for a lot of different things. A good run consists of a lot of different things, including the height, for example. We saw yesterday there are a couple of riders that really took the height level to the moon, and also difficulty of tricks you see here, originality and versatility, flow, style, all of these things will be taken into account, and the overall look of the run will also be very important. Pedaling in between is also a little bit of a minor point.
Now what you're seeing here is our installation with both the judging booth and the announcing booth. This is where we're streaming from to you live.
Yeah, and we're set up right next to these judges, which they have to look at all these different points, take into account a lot of different things. Here you have our judges panel. Brian Kaczynski, the head judge for this event. He is a street BMX legend, still riding to this day. Igor Vukanovski is joining him out of Croatia. Axel Jurgens out of Argentina. Luka Kovic and Christy Liu out of Great Britain.
That's a lot of experience right there in the judging booth. They've been having like a really tough time this weekend. Like they have been doing all these qualifiers for both men and women. We have had over 100 athletes trying to get qualified into semifinals, into finals, and this is your final starting list. We're going with Valeria Ward, Teresa Fernandez Miranda, Holly Pipe, Ken Zashal, Lori Perez, Naomi Wojtakowska, Edwarda, Iveta Mikolikova, Honglin Shah, Analia Zacharias, Henrik Bethany, going over to Chelsea Wolf, Natalia Deem, Nene Naito, Sheho Fan, Huemen Zhao, Valeria Lyubimova, Queen Villegas Serna, Sibeshun, Macarena Perez, Juan Zhang, Hannah Roberts, and Nikita Ducaro. Those will be our final 24 women.
Yeah, and this list, this starting list is flipped up compared to the qualification results. So that means that your #1 qualifier will start in the last heat.
Now looking at current weather, it's sunny, even though it's still 9 o'clock in the morning. We got 24 degrees up here, and the humidity is skyrocketing. Like after every run, riders need all the time to get their rest, to get hydrated again, because these temperatures are unforgiving today.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to see blue skies, Egon, because, oh man, what we saw yesterday was just hail the size of golf balls. We were scared that our booth was going to collapse, but we made it out okay. We got the men's semis done, and today we're here for the women's finals.
Like, it was raining so hard that it even started dripping into our like fully equipped booth. Like, it's full of electronics, and the rain was just coming in here. Like, we were getting a foot bath actually.
But it was pretty sick too to see how quickly everything dried up.
So we got the current UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup leaderboard. Currently in first place is going to be Hannah Roberts with 1,900 points, followed by Peris Benegas 1,590, then Soon with 1,570, and then the other two with 1,319. And in fifth place, Lori Perez, the European champion, with 1,050.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Peris Benegas couldn't be out here today. She is in the US recovering from a knee injury.
She ripped her ACL a while ago, so that's something that she is still working on to get that fixed. Very common injury in BMX. Like, a lot of riders have tore that ACL, and then it's like a long way of recovery to get back to the skate park, to get back on that bike. But with a lot of courage and determination, they will get there. So Paris, if you're watching, shout out to you. Speedy recovery.
I want to take this time also to give a shout out to our sponsors, obviously Brussels Urban Sessions, the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup powered by FIS, and also the Brussels Capital Region. They have been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of support for events for young people, youngsters, and they also want to promote Brussels as a whole because it is a beautiful city.
Now, get involved when you're watching. You can check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, at FIS Official or FIS World on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, get involved, go into the comments, and then we're also on TikTok as of recently.
Yeah, and definitely use the hashtags, hashtag FIS, hashtag BMX Freestyle WC, hashtag Brussels Urban Sessions. And the riders are now doing the last warm-up runs, trying to figure out how they will put down a perfect run.
I mean, again, looking at the starting list, like, we have European champions, we have world champions, we have an Olympic champion. Oh.
There's a lot of talent out here, a lot of talent and a lot of determination.
And the level of riding has been insane this whole weekend. What we've been seeing from this booth is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and as we said, we didn't get to watch the girls ride yesterday, so really, really excited to see what the women will put down today. They are hungry for it. They have been out here as early as 7:30 in the morning today, so.
So on the course right now is Valeria Ward from the UK. Just finished her run.
So we might have missed Valeria's first run, but that's okay.
You know, it's still early in the morning. And a fun story about Valeria Ward is she has a double nationality, so she is both a UK and a German rider.
And Valeria also joined the German nationals this weekend.
On the course now, Teresa Fernandez Miranda, all the way from España. Hola a todos en España.
Starting off big with that tabletop, transferring into the wall. Clearing that box nicely, landing smooth in the landing. That's what you need to get that speed. Switch transfer. Switching it up on the hip. Yeah, finding nice rhythm there. Tabletop air. Little extra crank. Hitting that hip rhythm section really nice.
With a really good style. Like brakeless, a bit trail-esque, if you could call it.
Yeah, and I think she's trying to put down a really solid flow for her first run. Try and get everything nice and smooth. That's something the judges will be looking for. Very important. Maybe even more important than getting a lot of tricks done. And she's waving the hand up.
So it's best run that will count in this final. And since it's still early in the morning, maybe a lot of riders will use that first run. Get that final warm-up.
Yeah, and also secure a solid first run that they can build upon for the second one. That was a nice X-up over the spokes right there. Tire grab. And here you see that switch transfer into that bank wall.
Like you can see she has that trail influence.
For sure, and her bike is set up as like a trail bike as well.
Like really
It's a nice
wide,
tabletop.
aggressive tires.
The rule is for tabletops, if you can imagine putting your beer or your drink onto the bike, it's a good tabletop.
Like an actual table, like put it.
Exactly.
Try to put your drink on top of your bike, and points are coming in. 67.60.
So that puts Valeria into first place right now. Teresa, I'm sorry.
Like we even hear one of the team coaches shouting, "Yeah, Holly!" So they're hyped. They're stoked to be here in Brussels.
I wonder if it's Jamie Bestwick. Jamie usually kind of a stoic, but he's got the heart for his team out here. Yeah, nice and big. Starting things off with that tire grab over the hip.
This British athlete.
360. Doing a 360, but landing on the flat deck, so taking the spine.
So at the recent EU Championships, she managed to get a hold of that 8th place. So she's the 8th best rider here in Europe that we have. Putting on a show for us here.
Riding over that box jump backwards. Getting some speed. Yeah, doing the backflip. Not with her front wheel into the landing. She's landing full on the flat bottom, on the deck, I'm sorry. But that's a solid first run for her, and she put down some tricks that we haven't seen yet. So we'll see how the judges score that in comparison to Teresa's run, which was really flowy, but didn't have a lot of tricks. Holly's run did have the backflip, did have the 360, but she did it with a little bit less speed, so we'll see how the judges will assess that. And here we have Holly looking at the board, trying to see what her first score is. And there we go, a 57.
57. She looks happy with it.
57.
57.
I think it's 57. Next up, we have Kenza Chal out of France. Up on the big deck.
Bonjour, les compatriotes.
Yeah, putting the hands up. Ready to drop in. Yeah, Sui no-hander over the step down, a step up to start things off, over the spokes. Tabletop transfer into the wall, over the spokes. Transferring from the spine into the takeoff of the box jump. Yeah, clearing that box jump.
Like you can see when they get back into those two big bank walls at the other end for the jump boxes, like they have to get that perfectly to get that speed, get that momentum going to clear every box setup that there is on that side.
360 onto the flat deck. Can air right there. That's the 10-second mark. What she got for her last jump.
Disaster.
Disaster. So in this run, we saw in the beginning there was a lot of flow, a lot of nice landing, smooth landing, going fast. And towards the end, she slowed down a little bit, threw in some extra tricks like that bar spin onto the deck, like that 3 onto the deck.
But it's very exhausting circumstances. As we mentioned before, right now, temperature is still rising. It is just 10 o'clock in the morning here in Brussels, and we already have temperatures of 26, 28 degrees. And the humidity, man, it feels like the Amazon forest here today.
Here we're seeing that bar spin. Here she goes over that big spine step down. That is a nice one-hander.
Huge spine step down. Like we did a track walk yesterday, checking out the whole park, and it is like You're looking up into a skyscraper.
Yeah, I did a few rebel runs on the skate park yesterday, and it's big. It's like you have to be fully aware to ride that course because it'll take you down in no time. And also really difficult keeping your flow in between. Here we see Kenza Chal scoring a 54.8 for her first run. That'll put her into third position.
And we're staying with the Frenchies, going to Laurie Perez. French champion Laurie Perez. X-upping over that spine step down into the bank wall with the tabletop. Nice and flat.
Airing out of the UCI quarter into the bank. Yes! She's the first to do a really big backflip. She did catch her wheel onto the flat, but she went really fast and she almost cleared the box jump, keeping her speed. Transferring from the spine into the lip of that box jump. Yeah, nice T-bog. Clearing that box jump this time. Nice tail whip air. Getting some extra cranks in, keeping the speed. What she got. Tuck no hander. So you see Laurie putting down a lot of tricks.
It's been a hard weekend already for all these riders. After 3 days of non-stop riding, they've depleted their energy resources.
And that was solid because she ended it with a bar spin air. Got in a lot of tricks in that run and also that backflip. She did not fully clear the box, but she was going fast and really had a nice flow going in that run. Here's the slow-mo of that run. 360 up the step up, X-step down, the spine step down. Nice little tabletop. And here's that big backflip. She just cased. I think she just cased it by a wheel size, but
still kept rolling.
Yep, kept the speed going.
Oh, that's really neat slow-mo here. 360.
Yeah. And then you can see she lands perfectly. And the little trick she did in the air as well, like all the tuck no-hander air, she did a bar spin air, whip air, that'll put her into first place. And I can see why, because she did a lot of tricks in between. She didn't just jump around, she really put the tricks in there as well.
Our next rider is going to be from Slovakia, Naomi Wojtekowska, youngest rider here today in Brussels. But we gotta watch out with these younger riders because sometimes like they come out of nowhere and they totally obliterate the competition.
Yeah, yesterday, the Japanese prodigy. So here's Naomi with her first run. 360 onto the flat deck. X-up. Catching that wall right there. Can up on the deck.
So she has the honor of repping Slovakia here today, being their athlete here.
X-up over the spine. 360 onto the flat deck. Ah, putting her foot down. That's gonna cost her.
I think Catfish also mentioned this is her first big contest on the UCI World Cup level here, so that's a lot of stress.
For sure.
For her first time, but she's doing an amazing job. So Naomi, you're doing really well here.
And that will be time for Naomi's first run.
Very well done.
I think the foot down will cost her. That's something that the judges are really sensitive to, but we'll see how they'll score it. She's grateful and she's all smiles out here.
I think that's the beauty of freestyle BMX. Like a lot of riders here, like they want to drop the hammer, get results. Most of all, they're grateful to have these opportunities to travel around the world, go to competitions.
For sure, man. And to meet all the other competitors, learn off each other, feed off of each other's energy. It's a really big one in BMX. Even though they're competing out here, it's still everybody's supporting everybody and there's no bad blood.
49.60 for Naomi Wojtekowska.
So that gives her a base to start off of for her second run. And now we're back.
Valeria Ward. Fun fact about her, so she has a double nationality. Earlier this weekend, she was competing at the German National Championships. But because we had this competition up as well, that week was cut short and she's here now.
I believe she's also one of the oldest riders in the competition this weekend. Getting some nice speed there. Yeah, barely clearing that box. Over the spine, step down, one-hander. Yeah, finding a nice rhythm there. Over the hip, getting some extra cranks in. Little tabletop there. Over the box jump. 1 foot air. Riding down the step down.
Doing it for Entity BMX Shop, United BMX and Shield Protectives.
Over that box. Over the spine. And then over the box jump, not fully clearing it. One-hander air. And a nice fast land to ending and things, yes. Giving a shout out to the crowd. So we'll see if she improves for her second run. Tire grab right there on the step up. Kind of casing a little bit. One-hander over the spine, step down. You have her going full slow motion over that hip. Yeah.
Oh, it's tweaking the bars.
Tweaking the bars. Might have gone for an X-up, but didn't get the full rotation on that X-up. And that puts her in 6th position right now with a 43. And I guess that's going to be her first score, the run of her first run, the score of her first run.
Back to the trail-inspired Spanish rider, Teresa Fernandez Miranda. Sporting the Spanish jersey.
Yeah, and we were talking to Catfish earlier, and he was saying that she has been dominating the Spanish women's scene for a while. Wow, look at this start of this run, man. Really great. Tire grab over the spine. I like the speed of this run. I like the flow of this run. Yeah, over the box jump, clearing it perfectly. Getting that speed, yeah, getting that speed that she needs to keep it flowing. Yeah, great style over that hip.
Like it's in the little things, the way she drops that shoulder into the hip, the way she tweaks her airs.
Yeah, and you can really tell that she's been riding for a while and she really figured out she has her own style, she lands smooth. And as we said before, this run doesn't have the big tricks like no backflips, but definitely the overall flow of this run is A+. And that will do it for Teresa Fernandez Miranda's second run.
So her current standing at 67.6 got her that second place in this first heat of 24 riders. Will she be able to top that score of Lori Perez? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's the way she started off her run, really great.
Stretching out on the no-hander, tabletop.
Very solid tabletops. Can over the hip right there. Here's that no-hander.
Oh, hands up all the way, yes.
Extension. And we call this one a tuck no-hander, where you put the bars into your lap and then let go of the bars. Waiting anxiously to see what his score will be. And
71.90, improving that original score.
Getting into the 70s with that run. Nice one. Next up, we have Holly Pipe.
Holly Pipe from Wales.
Yeah, X-step over the step up to start things off. ET over the spine step down. Tire grab.
And she has been on a roll ever since the European Championships. She has a good energy going on.
360 up on the flat deck. Keeping her speed going, getting some pedals in right there. Over the spine. She's midway her second run right now. T-bogging onto the deck.
At the last up in Montpellier, she couldn't make it to the semis, and now she's in the finals.
Yeah, very well done from Holly. Yeah, backflip onto the deck, getting the rotation. So what she's got for her last one, will she be able to get more in? A little one-hander. That's still a solid run. She got a lot of tricks in. She started off really nice with the flow and then got a bit more to the trick side of things, which she did at a little bit less speed.
Now the UK women's team is being coached by the South African Greg Illingworth. A lot of riders may know him from contests like the Battle of Hastings.
Was that more fun?
Very impressive rider, and it's great that he's giving back to the scene by coaching the women's team here, coaching these young talents like Holly Pipe.
Yeah, Greg obviously has a lot of trail influence in him and likes to go fast himself. And he has a lot of experience to give back to these riders.
And she's vibing to the Arctic Monkeys playing in the background.
I'm stoked on the stickering of her helmet, man. It's all the way. Here we see that ET in slow motion. And ET is where you pedal in the air, trying to get as much speed as possible.
It's just like in the classic motion picture.
And
Keep on pedaling in the air, like ET is in your basket.
Yeah, and here you see the after run stoke.
It was okay. I mean, good turn.
That'll put her into third place with the 57.
So we're
Very
staying with
nice.
that first score of 57.
Back to Kenza Chal out of France, currently ranked 4th position. She will be starting off of the big bank wall, possibly hitting that step up as the first obstacle in her run.
Like that's been like the general trend this weekend. All the riders starting on one of those two walls to start off with one of the jump box setups.
And she drops in. Yep, hitting that step up. Yeah, suicide no-hander. Over the spine, step down. Getting a little table in there, not fully extending, but still keeping it going. Transferring from the spine into the takeoff of the box jump. Casing a little bit, but still nice speed. Hitting that hip rhythm section right there. Bar spin onto the flat deck. 360 onto the flat deck. This is where she needs to keep it going. She's over the midway point. Transferring.
And same for her, like after a year hiatus of not being able to ride, she made her comeback at the last stop at FIS Montpellier. Not making it into semifinals, and now she's here in Brussels.
Representing Team France, I know Patrick Guimès is out there on the deck watching his riders, giving them the pointers they need. Kenza getting back on the deck right there. There you see Patrick, all smiles. Nice one-hander down that spine step down. As we mentioned before, that spine step down is one of the biggest features of the Hurricane skate park here.
Like, it scares me just watching it. Okay, she got the whole French team waiting with her for that score to come in.
Fourth position.
53.6. So we're going to keep with that first run, first score of that 54.80.
And here we have our next rider. Second run for Laurie Perez. Also out of Sérignan, France.
Le compatriote, the fellow Frenchie, Laurie Perez.
Yo! Amazing start of that run. 360 bar spin over the step up. Transferring from the quarter pipe into that bank wall. Yeah, pushing through on that air, getting the speed. Yeah, nice, big backflip. Hanging up a little bit, but still really big backflip. Transferring from the spine into the takeoff of the box jump. Hitting the wall. T-bog over the box jump. It's a very similar run to her first run, but I think she didn't do the truck driver at the beginning of her first run, so she's trying to improve on the difficulty of tricks right there. Tuck no hander air, hitting the rhythm section. And as we mentioned, those last few seconds are always important because that's when a rider will start to feel the exhaustion. And there you have it for Laurie's second run. Very solid start, very solid midway. And we'll see how the judges score it.
So currently in that first position with the 75.60. It is still very early in this final, so a lot of things can still change.
Just taking a little breather right there, talking to her coaches.
C'est fini, as her coach says. It's over, this session for her. I think she did a really good job. Yes, flipping it. Just a really small case, but she got away with it.
Tuck no hander air right there. And there's that truck driver to start things off. And then beautiful X-up over the spine step down. Really nice extension on those arms.
And it was on this tail whip that she just sipped the pedal.
She
so
did.
She got it on the front foot, she got the back foot as well, but I think she misplaced her back foot just a bit.
Yeah.
To get her slipping on that pedal.
And when we're talking about, oh, she improves her score, yes sir, and she secures her first position even more. So next up we have Naomi Wojtekowska.
Youngest rider here today, 16 years old. Also quick shout outs to our MCs on the course. We have Catfish and Pierre Wilhelm. Tabletop onto that Jules hip jump. Yes, quick foot plant onto the Lotto bank wall. 360.
Getting some extra cranks in, that's something the judges will take into account.
You know, it's a very big park.
Yeah, these ramps are really, really big, and right now Valeria is putting the focus on tricks more so than speed or height. 360 onto the deck right there.
I mean, can you imagine being 60 years old? You're far away from home, and then you're here with all the best athletes in the world riding along you.
And that will do it for Naomi's second run. I think she did some more tricks than her first run, but there was a little bit less speed, a little bit less air in there. So it'll be interesting to see how the judges score that as opposed to her first run. Here we're seeing a nice slow-mo over that hip section.
Really
the table
pulling those bars into the shoulder. into the armpits. Let's get it really flat. Axe up. Like, it's really fun seeing all these slow-mos. Actually, like, really get the grasp of how a trick is performed. Like, how do you pull that tabletop? How do you pull those tail whips?
Yeah, and we are ready to see the highlight of this heat. And there you have it for the highlight reel of that first heat. Already some really big tricks have been thrown down. We saw a 360 bar spin, a couple of backflips, also a nice couple of airs. And let's see what that second heat has got for us, Egon.
Now we're still in the warm-up of this second heat of riders. Now while they're getting warmed up, we're going to tell you who is going to be featured in this second heat. Another group of 6 riders, 24 finalists in this women's final. And look at the park, look at all this greenery that we have here. The beautiful district of Schaerbeek in Brussels.
Yeah, and as it's still pretty early out here in Brussels, the crowd is still coming in, but the ones that are already here are witnessing some amazing BMX action in these women's finals.
So,
and of course, we're giving the riders all the time that they need to warm up, to get those muscles warmed up, the blood flowing.
First rider from Brazil is going to be Eduarda Duda Penso, Brazilian champion. She was in one of the early Olympic testing events back in 2018 before we had the first Olympic event in Tokyo.
And she might be looking at doing a flare. A flare is a backflip 180 onto a quarter pipe where you start off one direction and come back in on the ramp the other direction. Bar spin to start things off on that step up. Tire grab on the spine step down. Little tabletop right there, not fully tweaking, but still keeping the speed going. Tire grab over the spine. Extra crank in there, keeping the speed, hitting the box jump. Yeah, backflip. Oh.
She got away with it.
She's all right. She's all right. And Catfish is cheering on the crowd right here.
Is this going to be a throwaway run?
For sure, but she might just try and finish it off, get some extra stuff in.
Keep the energy going for her second run, maybe.
Yeah, and just feel out these ramps even more.
Test the park. Also, it's a good way to assess your body. How is your body reacting after a crash? Because sometimes you just feel after a couple of seconds that you might have hit something. You might have sprained your ankle.
But she seems all right for that second run.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to what she will bring to the table then. Tough luck on that backflip.
But she has some tricks up her sleeves.
Yeah, we were talking to Catfish before, and he told us she might pull a flare. And maybe we'll see that if she pulls a full run, and at the end of the run, might pull a flare out.
She has an impressive list of sponsors as well. We have GT, We have Profile Racing, Alienation BMX, Vans Brazil. Oh, look at her. She's proud for her country.
I think that's her #1 sponsor, Team Brazil. Tire grab down, that spine step down. Let's see if she did manage to reach the tires. Yeah, got the fingers on there. As we were talking about before, execution of the tricks is something the judges are looking for. So the way they extend stuff is very important. A 26.2 for that first run, and that's because she crashed on that backflip.
We're gonna keep that party going as Catfish Shast with our next rider from the Czech Republic, European champion Iveta Mikulikova. Like, she made an amazing impression at the European Championships, claiming that #1 spot, and she is gonna prove that to all these riders here. Oh, nose bunking on that spine step down.
Keeping the speed going though. Bar spin air, really nice height on it. Tuck no hander over the spine, not fully extending the arms, but still keeping it going. Bar spin transfer from the spine into the box jump landing. Yeah, backflip onto the deck, but still pulling it clean.
Now she is a double European champion, double Czech national champion, and she's had some great results at these World Cup contests as well.
As we are going into that final 10 seconds of her first run, tire grab over the hip. Will she be able to put a big exclamation point at the end of her run? And a bar spin to finish things off. Very solid run from Iveta.
Like, even after her win at the European Championships in Poland, like, she even had a feature in Belgian news about her claim to that European title.
But I know.
Getting hydrated. As we were talking about before, the heat is up here in Brussels. We're talking about 26, 27 right now.
Oh, nothing. Fully stretching it out.
Beautiful way to start things off. Bar spin, transferring from the spine onto the box jump.
That's the backflip. Look at her hucking it. Quick tire grab.
By that. Really getting the hand onto the tire. Bar spin up on the deck. And here you see a slow-mo of that nothing. Great extension, fully flaring open the legs, flaring open the arms, and then just dipping back in.
So even though we call it a nothing, it's for the combination that we have of, like, no hander, no footer. And that is going to get her 73.30 in second spot for European champion Iveta Mikulikova.
And she's hyped on that. Our next rider is Hongling Xia out of China. And as you know or might not know, Daniel Dares has been appointed the head coach for the women's team just recently. Yeah, beautiful. That was a bar spin combination. Not sure what she did before. Yeah, one-footed X up. Bar spin over the spine. Oh man, I like the flow of this run. I like the speed of this run. No footer over the step up. X up over the spine, step down. Transferring, yeah, transferring from that UCI corner into the big bank wall. 1 foot X up over the spine. A little extra crank. Going for that step up. Bar spin again. Yeah, X up air. You'll notice her doing a lot of tricks on pretty much every air. Yeah, big tail whip air. Crank and air over the hip. 10-second mark right there. What she's got for her final jump. Bar spin. And that will be time for Hongling Xia first run. Yeah, she's hyped. Yeah, and rightfully so.
Hyping up the Brussels crowd here. And the thing with the Chinese women's team is, like, the process they have been going through the last couple of years. Like, I remember a contest here in Belgium 5 years ago at the bowl contest when they were still being coached by Rob Darn. And that was in the early beginnings of the Chinese women's team. And these girls could barely air out of a quarter, maybe just pull a bar spin.
And here we're looking at the replay of that first run, Egon. She started things off with a nothing to bar spin, which is really, really crazy. Haven't seen that combination all weekend, actually.
Like, their level of riding over the course of those 5 years, being coached by the likes of Rob Darden and Daniel Dares, like, they have improved so much, and I think, like, there is no limits to this Chinese team.
To give you a reference of the capacity, the expertise of the head coach right now of the Chinese women team, Daniel Dares, he was in competition yesterday at the men's pro semi-finals.
78.24, your current leader.
And there you go, 87.9, putting her into first place. She's hyped on that, and with good reason, getting the fist bump from Catfish.
And that's not a small advantage that she has. That's like a whole 9 points.
Yeah, she's the first rider to crack into the 80s. Here we go, Analia Zacarias doing it for Argentina. She's looking focused out there, dropping in, going for that step up. Yeah, nice no-hander, start things off. Over the spine, step down, big transfer. Over the sparks, landing clean, transferring from the spine into the lip of the box jump. T-boggin, yeah. Landing smooth. Nice 1 foot steez transfer. Hitting that rhythm section. Except over the step up, not fully extending. Manual down the step up. Finding some nice lines there, not fully clearing everything, but the lines she's pulling is really cool. 10-second mark right there. Not sure if she will continue. That will be time for Analia's first run.
So she saved that energy at the last stand of her run, considering that for the second run maybe in this finals. Now, in both men and women finals, we have Argentina featured. So yesterday in semifinals, we saw Jose Malinho Torres qualify into the finals later on today. And now in this finals here, Analia Gabriela Zacarias for Argentina.
Team Argentina has got some nice style all across the board. Jose has got that style, and also Gabriela has got that style. So we'll see how the judges score that, because she ended up giving it away at the 15-second mark. And that first run will put her into 8th place, 46.54.
8th place. Next one's going to be good.
And here we have Bethany Hedrick. We were talking to Catfish before the competition started, and he was like, I'm super excited where this girl would take it. She's still young. Turn on, but not clicking it fully. Over the spine, step down, transferring. Yeah, nice air, really great height on that. Not getting over the sparks, but 360ing over the spine, fully recovering. Yeah, T-bog over the box jump. Little case, like really minor case. Except over the hip. Hitting that rhythm section, that hip section. Oh! Tail whip air. Kind of missing her pedal a little bit, but didn't really put her foot down, I think, so it's also important. Except over the spine. Extra crank right there. Yup. And I can tell by her t-shirt she also is riding Woodward often. Manual over the sparks, and that will be time for Hedrick's first run.
Now, given that this is the women's final here in Brussels, we want to take a minute to get a shout out to the Bloom BMX, which is a BMX blog being run by Angie Marino and Beatrice Stang, focusing on all these female talents here that we have in freestyle BMX. And not a long time ago, Bethany was featured as the up-and-coming rider in women's BMX, and like she has been performing.
Yeah, great style out of her. Here we see that tail whip air where she just missed the pedal, but still kept it going. And she's looking here with Team USA head coach Ryan Nyquist at the scoreboard to see where she will end up.
So Bethany was also featured in the course preview video with the Bloom BMX, where we had all the girls commenting on this park, and they all said it's a brutal park setup, especially with all the box jumps and then the very scary looking spine step down. 59.50.
I'll put her into 5th place.
Getting the head nod from Ryan Nyquist.
Next up is Caterina Sairan Diaz Darmace
from Venezuela.
I like it. She's getting into the flow, listening to the music, hyping herself up. There we go, dropping in, going for that step up. I think that was a tuck no hander she started things off with. T-bogging over the spine step down, transferring from that UCI into the bank wall. Hitting the box over the spine with a tire grab. 360, yeah, nice. 360 smooth into that landing, really pushing through so that she could make it over that box jump. Really nice. Yeah, tail whip air, keeping the feet on. That's what the judges like to see. Over the hip. Bar spin onto the deck right there, dropping back in, extra crank. And a whip air. And now Caterina has to keep it going for that last 10-second spot.
#1 rider in Venezuela, our Catherine. And that's going to be the end of it for this run.
Been dominating the Venezuelan scene for a really long time. She's also wearing a mouth guard out here, which means that she is all in.
And a lot of these women have that Olympic dream to compete next year in Paris, France.
Let's say all these women? I think everybody's trying.
Everyone is stoked. Now the top 3 of this BMX Freestyle World Cup. So at the end of all these contests, so we have 5 stops, this being the 3rd one. The top 3 will have a chance to secure that spot to go to Paris, France next year.
And here you see that tail whip air. She almost missed the pedals, but managed to keep everything rolling.
Already sporting the Olympic logo on her shirt, so you know she's dreaming about it.
Yeah. Put it into reality. Manifesting it. Next up, we have Eduarda Bordignon. Duda Pensa. Duda Penso. Here we go, dropping in for her 2nd run. Bar spin to start things off. Tire grab over that spine, step down. Tabletop in. X-up over the spokes. Yeah, tire grab. Landing smooth so far, everything clean. Backflip, oh, keeping it on. Keep on keeping on. Hitting that hip section right there. Extra crank. That's one of the few areas on this park where you can really get some extra cranks in. All the other obstacles are really put up narrow, really close to each other.
Now she kept her focus after that pedal slip on that backflip. Keeps it going, trying to score as many points right now in that last spot with 26.20.
Little fast plant on that bank wall. And she's heading to that quarter pipe. Will she have something left in the tank? That will be time for Duda Penso.
Okay.
She did manage to roll away from the backflip this time, but still.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Did you just catch that underhand?
Whoa. And there we see that backflip. She kind of slipped the pedal, kept the speed going though and managed to finish off her run this time. So she will improve significantly from her first run, that's for sure.
But that bar spin underhanded catch looked really cool, but also really risky.
Man, should get extra points for that. Yeah, she's talking about it now. All smiles all the way though.
I would get extra points for the creative catch of the bar spin. Oh yeah. If you're watching from Brazil, bom dia.
That's how you rep Brazil, giving the biceps a little bit of an extra focus. And the judges are calculating the score.
That's the thing with these Brazilian riders, really proud of their country, really proud to be here.
Yeah. And you can see head judge right there, Brian Kaczynski, working hard. There you go, almost a doubling of her first score. A doubling of her first score. That's a nice one for Duda Penso.
And now,
putting her in
the Czech Republic powerhouse, Iveta Mikulikova. Double Czech national champion, double European champion.
Currently in third position. Yeah, oh man, that's tough luck. She started off with that cannonball, really cool trick, but didn't manage to pull it down.
Also a very unique trick that you don't see in a lot of contests these days. A very mid-school trick. Ooh.
No. She's gonna give that one up.
Still had a very good-looking first run.
Yes.
So we're probably gonna stick with that score.
Yes.
But we're gonna look at, I wanna see the replay of that cannonball, because I just really like seeing that kind of tricks. Those, let's say, more old school, mid-school tricks maybe.
Definitely more mid-school, but very impressive trick to do as well. It's like an add-on to a nothing. Let's go off the bike and then grabs onto the seat, pulls the bike back towards her, but she kind of like got a little bit too loose, lost her balance there, and that's how she crashed. It's all smiles all the way.
Saying hi to everyone in the Czech Republic.
Not really looking at the scoreboard that much because she knows that's gonna be a throwaway run. And she will indeed keep her first score as she scores a 7.80. That's a logical score because she crashed on her first trick. And here you have your current leader, Hongling Xia, with a 87.9 with her first run. And let's see if she can even improve on that first run. That first one was packed with action, lots of height, lots of stees. Oh, there she goes again with the nothing bar spin to start things off. Over the box, one-footed X-up. Bar spin over the spine. Looks like she wanted to get an extra X-up in there. Nothing over the box jump. X-up over the spine, step down. Transferring from the UCI corner into the bank wall. X-up over the box. 1 foot X-up over the spine. Extra crank in there. I think she's heading for the step up. Yeah. Bar spin over the step up. X-up air.
Xia Honglin, Chinese national champion.
Yeah, whip air, beautiful. And I was talking to Daniel earlier. These girls are training hard. They are riding twice a day, training twice a day. And if they're not riding, they are in the gym getting some extra muscle work in. Yes, still super stoked.
Just
that whole run was
17 years old.
That whole run was super solid, man. She did not pull that tail whip air at the end, but that might not even count as the buzzer was going off. So we'll see. We have Bart de Jong, our UCI technical delegate for this event, who will assess that.
I'm wondering if Daniel Ders can speak a fair word of English, Chinese himself.
He's one of those dudes that adapts to every environment that he's in, so I can imagine him speaking Chinese fluently in like the next 6 months. And there you see that tail whip air really at the end of her run. Didn't manage to pull it that one down, but everything else was pretty much clean, pretty much perfectly pulled. Here you see the super slow-mo of that 1 foot X-up over the box. And it will be interesting. She's not going to improve on that first score. But with that 87.9 of her first run, she has secured a first spot for now. And we are now going back to Analia Zacarias out of Argentina. Dropping in, turn on over the step up, spine step down, X up. Yeah, T-bogging. Hitting the spocks, extra crank. Come on, Analia. Tuck no-hander over the box jump. I like the speed, man. Little 1 foot steez over that hip. Pumping through that rhythm.
Argentinian champion, Analia Zacarias.
Putting some Euro table in there for extra steez, that extra sauce. Look back, not fully clicking it, but still at height. Transferring from the spine into that box jump landing. 10-second mark. Will she have something to end this run with a bang? Can air, bar spin up on the deck, getting those extra tricks in. And that will do it for Analia's second run. Putting the fist up to this Brussels crowd. And the people are pouring in right now.
Yeah, people are still coming in, getting their Sunday here started.
Everybody got their coffee in, and now they're ready to watch some BMX.
Got their coffee, got their croissants. It's a beautiful looking day here in Brussels. Beautiful day to do X-ups like these.
And they have announced some bad weather for today, but as you guys know, Brussels and Belgium is a very small area on the map, so the weather can change at any time. And as we're looking at the skies right now, everything is looking
It will just pass by.
Yeah.
We'll be manifesting that we won't have any rain today.
I like it, bro. Tuck no hander over the box jump right there from Analia.
So if you're watching the live stream and you have some good weather at your place, please send it to Brussels. So we have some extra in case the rain would come in.
She's looking at the scoreboard right now, seeing as...
Mami, te mando un beso.
You're giving a lot of kisses to her mom, I guess.
Yes, sir. And she does improve from that first score, a 60.32. Now we're back to the American Hedrick. Bethany. She's still young, but she's oozing with style, and Catfish told me she's very excited to see where she's heading for in the future. But we're not talking about the future right now, we're talking about her run right now. Dropping in, turn downing over the step up, clicking it a little bit better than the first time, but not still fully.
She has that flow going.
360 and over the spine, yes sir. Not easy to do a 360 over a spine because you have to land in really steep. T-bogging over the box jump.
So just so you know, when we're talking about a T-bog, it's a toboggan. It's where you pull your handlebars in line with your frame and you grab a hold of the seat. And it looks even better if you dip it.
And the way she did that tail whip air, Egon, was a lot better than her first time. Her first time she slipped the pedal, now it looked pretty solid.
And that's gonna give her that boost to keep performing through the rest of that run. Last couple of seconds for Bethany Hendrick.
Kind of casing with both wheels on that box jump. So that'll be it for Bethany, but yeah, solid second run. Got that an improvement on that tail whip air for sure. There she starts things off with that turn down, not fully clicking it. Tabletop in, transferring. And here you see the super slow-mo of that turn down. What the judges are looking for is a complete alignment of the front and back wheel, where you turn your front wheel 180 degrees.
Or even more, get it over-clicked.
Yes, that's ideally.
Now we want to give another shout out to the Bloom BMX, the female run blog and Instagram account by Beatrice Tang and Angie Marino, putting a focus on all these athletes.
And right now we're starting things up for the second run of the Venezuelan Sairan Catherine Diaz Darmarse. She is #1 in Venezuela. Full focus right here as she goes into her final run. Here we go. Tuck no hander to start things off. T-bogging over the spine, great extension. X-step over the sparks, not fully clicking the X-step, but still keeping it going. 3 in, yeah, and just like that first run, she really pushes through on that 360, landing smooth. 1-footer over the spine. Getting a nice air on that. Oh, okay. She got the backflip, but she bailed midair, hit the ejector seat.
That was a really risky crash. Like,
yeah,
ejecting your seat like halfway your flip. Like, we've seen a lot of riders maybe under rotating a bit or over rotating and then jumping off their bikes, but she did it like halfway to flip.
But you know, she made a great assessment. She realized midair, like, I'm not gonna get the full rotation. It's better for me to bail out of this, and that's the safe way to go. So, props to you.
That's something we're gonna check on in that replay.
Yeah.
Now, not only for these riders, it's a good thing to like look back on, but also for all the people at home. Like, if you're working on some of these tricks, take a look at the replays. Look at what these riders are doing. What muscles are they using? What movements are they doing?
There you have that 360. They really push through on the box jump because she's not going into it with that much speed. Here we have that backflip, and she bails mid-air, landing onto her knees, but she was wearing knee pads, as all these competitors are. So she's got away pretty well.
Looks like she was gonna like come in a bit short, like under rotating it, but you know, she got away fine. She got a decent score from that first run. So thank you, Catherine Serán Díaz Darmase.
And we will be taking a look at the highlight of this second heat. Check on 1 minute.
And those were some amazing highlights from this second heat. Right now on track, we have all the riders for that third heat. 6 new riders, 6 new athletes that are gonna put on a serious run here, or 2 serious runs. So we're gonna have riders from the USA, Australia, Japan, and China.
Yeah, and as with this entire list, Egon, we've got some big names, we got some heavy hitters. I can see Chelsea Wolf, Nene Naito, 17 years old, out of Japan, another Japanese prodigy. And then Valeria Yubimova, out of France, Montpellier. These riders are heating up, warming up to put down world class runs. They're putting the last bits in to try and make them feel secure as they are pulling down their tricks.
So we have people watching worldwide, people watch from Brazil, China. We even get messages from Norway of people enjoying the show that we're having here.
And a quick shout out to the sponsors of these events. Obviously, it's catered by Brussels Urban Sessions. There is Fees World, and shout out to Fees, and shout out to Hurricane Skate Parks, who have built this beautiful BMX park.
So next rider on course is going to be Chelsea Wolf.
Chelsea, one of the only riders, or the only rider with a front brake today.
Oh, that is old school. I'm wondering if she's going to use that front brake.
Also in shorts. She's got the pads on.
I mean, that's a good choice in this weather because it is scorching hot. Like, the temperature is still rising.
And I think that's Chelsea's way to go, like default mode. Oh, okay.
Still waiting to clear the course.
Chinese rider getting the last cranks in, getting the last warm-ups in.
So we'll just have to wait a bit.
Yeah.
For the rider to clear the course. One of the Chinese riders is shredding right now.
Yeah, she might have been like, "Oh, we're not ready yet. Okay, taking another run."
Yeah, might have been a communication mishap, but it's all good now.
So the course is cleared as we are speaking.
So right now on screen, looking at Natalia Deem from Australia.
She has been out the last couple of years with some injuries, but now she's back in full force in the competition scene. So let's see. We will be starting with Chelsea Wolf.
She also has her Olympic diploma from the last Olympics in 2021 in Japan, where she got 5th place among some other heavy hitters like Charlotte Worthington, Hannah Roberts, and Nikita Ducaro.
I'm wondering if we're starting with Chelsea or Natalia. We're starting with Natalia.
Okay, we're just waiting.
Oh, no. Chelsea's
We
going
have
to be. Yep. She's giving the thumbs up to Catfish.
And she has an Olympic link as well. She was the Tokyo Olympics alternate for Team USA. So every team had an alternate in case if their main rider would get injured.
And we're going. No foot can over that step up. Yeah, 360 turn down that spine step down. 1 foot tabletop. Boosting over that big box jump. I think she's the first we've seen hit that box jump. Little tuck no hander, not fully extending the arms. 360 tabletop, not fully clicking. Yeah, look back. Tucking the bars, but not letting go of the hands. Over the spine. Yes,
Whoa.
hitting that wall ride.
Bit of a Ruben-esque, Ruben Alcantara kind of wall ride.
Yeah, leading nicely into it. 1 foot X up. Look back right there, but not fully clicked. No footer. Over the hip as she goes into that last 10 seconds of her run. But she's got a couple of pedals in there. 270 over the hip, very nice. And there you have it for Chelsea Wolf's first run.
So she kicked off her first run in this third heat.
And she takes a couple of big breaths right there.
Yeah. Talking about heat, it is still rising.
Yeah. And what these athletes are performing is like really hard cardio, but then also really hard strength-wise. You have to pull really hard on your bike to get that up, get it up to the height that you want it to. There's a lot of different things involved. Here you have that beautiful 1 foot tabletop. That one looked steezy. Yep.
People on deck looking in awe. How she pulled that one off. Whoa.
Also landing front wheel first, which is also always really nice when you're doing air tricks.
awaiting her score.
Hi, Mom.
Proud mom at home watching.
Good morning,
I'm
Mom.
sure. Hey, Mom.
It is very hot here in Brussels. It's like 80, 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
And there we go. Chelsea getting into that top 3. Second place with an 82.6 for her first run.
Very good score. Now let's hope she's going to use that front brake in that second run.
We've got a sub box that needs to be used, so.
Fifth in the Olympics, Natalia Deem from Australia.
Here we go, starting things off. Yes, sir. Backflip over that step up. Perfect execution, landing smooth. T-boggin. Jumping that Spock's tire grab over the spine feature. 360 over the box jump. Hanging up a little bit, but getting that extra speed from those cranks.
Now the Australian team is very well represented this weekend in both the men and the female categories.
You can say that, yeah. Nice tail whip air, catching it clean to the pedals. So this is also a little thing that Australians have. If they run a brake, they will run the brake on the left-hand side. Yeah, downside tail whip air, beautiful. Catching the pedals again, super clean. You can tell that Natalia has years and years of experience. T-bogging over the spine, and that will be time for Natalia. Really solid first run. I like the look of it. She cased a little bit on the box jump there when she was doing the 360, but other than that, very little casing, very little like hanging up, losing speed. So as I was mentioning before, Natalia is running one brake, and she is running the brake lever on the left-hand side, which is typically Australian and British, as they are also driving on the left-hand side of the road.
This with the T-bog. It's a boggin. 270.
And you will notice that she landed pretty much everything clean apart from that 360 over the box jump. Here's a tuck no-hander over the spine step down, nicely extended.
With the rainbow gloves from Fist Handwear.
And as scary as that spine step down is, there is a big landing attached, so it's you can land a little bit deeper and still be fine. Yes, that will put Natalia into second spot, pushing away Chelsea to that third spot. So got a little bit of a competition going on there within this heat.
Things are switching up in the leaderboard. Every run it passes by.
Yeah, and the top 3 are all 80 scores, all scores in the 80s. So the level is really, really turning up a notch.
From Japan, Nene Naito, 70 years old.
Casing
on that Sunday bike setup.
Yeah, casing a little bit on that step up right there, hitting the spine step down feature. Turnouting, not fully clicking it though. Opposite tabletop. Yeah, perfectly executed tail whip air. As she goes into those last 10 seconds. X-up over the Spox. Flowing over the spine. Nice style right there. 1 foot X-up, yeah. Clearing the box jump. And that will be time for Nene Naito's first run.
You know, at the last 2 stops of the World Cup, she managed to get the 11th spot in Saudi Arabia and 15th at Montpellier. So we're really curious how she's going to perform at this stop here in Brussels and the stops to come as well. Nene Naito, young gun from Japan.
Their coach right there, giving her some mental support. Getting hydrated. Temperatures are rising.
The progress of the Japanese riders has been tremendous.
That 360 over the box jump looked really good. She overrode it a little bit, but that actually made her clear the box even more. There's that turn on down the spine, step down, tire grab. casing a little bit, but grabbing the tire really well. And this is a technique I've been seeing the Japanese do all weekend. They put ice on the back.
Yeah, the ice pack in the neck to cool those nerves.
Yeah. And here we have Xiu Yung Fan. "18 years old," as Catfish is mentioning. Also a very young rider still. And she is ready to drop in. Let's get it. Boom! Yes, sir. Man, that's a big trick. 360 tail whip over the box jump. Perfectly executed tail whip air. Man, this is the way you start a run. Turn on air. Accept over the step up. Tuck no hander. Down that spine. Step down feature. Look back, not fully clicking it, but keeping it going. Come on. Hitting the spine. Casing the box jump. Turn down, transfer. Over that hip. Yep. Landing smooth that time. Over the box jump. Landing smooth, but no tricks. Little tabletop.
You can see her tucking in that backhand to clear that box setup.
Yeah, and I'm definitely sure she won't be hyped that she cased on the box jump, but she's, I stand corrected, she's hyped. And the way she started off that run, man, that big 360 tail whip to start things off, that's the first time we've seen that one being pulled today. And I mean, over the box jump, clearing the box jump, that's even harder. Daniel Dares with the hydration there. And Daniel staying stoic, but also giving positive affirmation to his rider.
Very good job by Fan Xiaowei.
And there you see it, that 3-whip, casing it just by a little hair, but like not even barely. Like, got the speed, kept it going, except over that step-up feature right there. And here you see her do a tabletop in slow motion. Oh, I'm sorry, a beautiful tail whip. Yeah. And also really beautiful how she crosses her legs. Really nice execution. And as you can see, she's riding brakeless.
Catching it with the cranks.
Yep. Riding brakeless, so those tail whips become even more difficult.
Fan Xiaowei. And I'm gonna mention a couple of times, like the growth that the Chinese team has been through is like impossible to describe actually. Like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, like this is just from my views at a contest here in Belgium. Barely clearing spines, barely doing air, maybe just having a bar spin for a best trick. But now, woo!
And Mrs. Fan goes into second position.
So that means the top 2 spots are going to the Chinese athletes right now. And we still have some other Chinese athletes coming up, because right now we have Hui Minju from Beijing, China.
Hui Minju starting to drop in here. Lots of speed. Yeah, 360 tuck no hander starting things off, clearing that box with ease. Yes, solid tabletop. 360 bar spin. Oh man, this is a good run. Will she be able to hold on to it as she goes into that second part of her run? Bar spin over this box jump, perfectly clearing.
Looking at past results, she got that #1 spot at FIS Montpellier 2 months ago. So she knows how to win and how to put down a really good-looking run.
I can already tell why she got that first spot in Montpellier, Egon. The way she's doing things, the speed she's taking, the height she's taking. Oh, even landing a little bit low right there. Most of these female competitors will have trouble going into that second part of their run, clearing things, but not Miss Zhu, because she's overshooting some of these features, and that will be time. But that was a great, great, great run, man. Really solid.
Now they have a really strict training schedule in China. Like, they spend up to 28 hours of training per week.
Yeah, Daniel gave me a little bit of insight in the way these Chinese women train. They train twice a day. If not riding, they will be in the gym or doing some other stretching work. And Daniel also told me that they put a lot of confidence into his expertise. Daniel has been a staple himself in the competition scene. He was actually out there yesterday with the men's semifinals. Here we take a look at that beautiful 360 tuck no-hander from the Chinese competitor. Really solid execution, except over the hip right there. And everything was at height. Also very important, as these judges are looking for height, style, execution of the tricks. And Humin Zhu did have a lot of those aspects in her run.
Now, is China gonna claim the top 3 spots in the current leaderboard? So right now, in first place, we have Xia Hongling, Fan Jiawei, and Natalia Deem.
That would be crazy if she takes another spot in that top 3, which could mean it will be a all-Chinese top 3. We'll see how the judges will score it.
Like all these riders that we're seeing now, they qualified 2 days ago in qualifiers on Friday. We didn't have the semifinals because of the biblical rainpour that we had here in Brussels. So that means we have 24 riders.
And there we go. Yes, sir. An all Chinese top 3 right now. Very interesting. And here we go to Valeria Yubimova, the last rider of this 3rd heat. Oh, slipping a pedal on that first run right there, on that first trick.
Valeria Lyubimova. Showing a quick one-hander.
Going for that tuck no-hander on the spine step down, but not releasing the hands. Going over the Spox feature. Yeah, nice speed. 360ing over the spine, landing a little bit low. Keep it going, Valeria. She is doing it for Team France out here.
At 18 years young. A couple of weeks ago, she was at the Croatian contest called Pannonian Challenge. Kind of started by one of our judges, Igor Poki Vukadinovic. And at the stop at Aldiria, Saudi Arabia, she got that 8th spot. Already getting her some of those precious UCI points to hopefully get a shot at the Olympics.
I'm sorry, she's not representing Team France. She is just based out of Montpellier, France. There you have that big backflip, kind of barrel rolling it, and she cased it a little bit, which made her feet blow off. But still really cool to see somebody do a barrel roll in this women competition. It's where you do a backflip, but you go off axis a little bit, so you drop your shoulder, which makes the backflip go sideways. You'll see a lot of guys and a lot of women do those on the step down feature. But she managed to pull it off on the box jump. There we have that X up over the hip, not fully clicking the arms around, not fully getting the handlebars 180 degrees, but still looking at the scoreboard. It's all smiles. So what will the judges give her? I think the fact that that her feet blew off will cost her, but we'll see. And yeah, that's going to be a 55.84.
Doesn't look completely happy about that result.
No, but she will be able.
Still has its 2nd run.
Redemption time for her. And so now we are back to the top of this heat number 3, Chelsea Wolf.
Chelsea, if you can hear us, please use that front brake, get the mid-school going. We'll take anything. Just a casual nose pick, Canadian nose pick.
Yeah.
Maybe even a nose endo just to end the run. That would be really fun to see. Let's kick it off.
Yes, sir. 3-star, up, the step up. 360 turn out. Yeah, and there's that great looking 1-foot tabletop. Egon wants to see the front break, but I'm stoked to see her ripping out here, really going fast. Tuck no hander, not fully extending. Yeah, look back. Nice transfer. Tuck no hander, little release of the hands, but not fully extended. T-bogging over the spine. Yeah, now she fully gets the Ruben in there. That's something the judges will like. That's a tribute to Ruben Alcantara, who invented that style of wall ride. No foot can. Come on, Chelsea, you got this. 10 seconds, tire slide, okay, yep. So Chelsea's putting down some really nice tricks, combining a lot of big tricks with some really steezy tricks, some technical tricks, and that's what the judges will like to see out here. So we'll see how they score it, but definitely a solid run. And it's difficult to say that if she will improve on her first run, because there were a little bit less of the big tricks, but she mixed it up and put some more technical tricks in there.
I think it's because of the lack of front brake tricks.
Yeah, I think, man, that we won't see any front brake tricks this weekend. I'm sorry. Chelsea had the opportunity, but she decided to go big instead of technical for the most part. So here we're taking a look at that run. Beautiful 1-footed tabletop. T-bogging over the spine right there. Here you have that 360 turn down. Almost fully clicking it.
Yeah.
Really, really nice execution, and also not an easy feature to do that trick on. So Chelsea is looking at that scoreboard, saying
right
hi
now,
to mom again and all of her fans, friends and family back home.
So right now she's in that 5th spot with the 82.60.
And that puts her into 5th position, 83.95. So it's back to
her
the
score.
Yeah.
Keeping the same ranking.
So that just tells you how fierce this competition is. Back to Natalia out of Australia.
She's gonna blow our minds.
That might mean she's got something crazy up her sleeve. We'll see. Beautiful backflip to start things off. Up on that step up. Tuck no hander down the spine, step down. Beautiful. Nice and big air right there. Yup. Getting her over that box. Tire grab on the spine. Full focus as she goes up over that box jump, casing it a little bit. 360ing. 270 there, over the hip, really good. Tabletop, solid execution. Oh, landing a little bit low. Looks like she's going to have to improvise right there. 15 seconds left. Yes! Oh, damn.
I think that is a mind-blowing trick she was talking about. Really well done, Natalia.
And the crowd is loving it. The crowd is really loving it.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Beautiful flare alley-oop, but unfortunately she just under-rotated by a tad, and that's what made her slide out.
Still has a solid ranking right
So
now on
close.
the leaderboard.
Yeah, so close. Indeed, it was really close. And it's a shame because she was doing a really great run. There's that 360 over the box jump. And that was that backflip, how she started things off. And she landed really well there. Little case. Just barely clipping. And here's that flare alley-oop. Oh, and actually she didn't really wash out.
She blew her feet off.
Yeah, and that's what made her caused her to fall down.
I think she just came in a bit too hot, and that's what blew her off her pedals.
Yeah, there could be a number of reasons. Maybe she was locking up the brakes or something like that. Anyway, she will keep her first score of that first run, which currently puts her into 4th position. And the second run for the Japanese, Nene Naito, sponsored by Monster Energy. On that Sunday bike, bar spin over the spine. Turn on over the spine, step down, not fully clicking it. That's something the judges will take into account. Only 17 years old out here. Oh! And
she gets up.
She gets up, of course.
Come on, Nene. Just try and ride it out. Really good job. Domo arigato.
Things went south on that tail whip air right there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, when she went to pull the bike around, her back wheel caught onto the transition, which stopped the rotation of her bike and also made her fall down. But we'll have to take a look at that in the replays. She's hurt a little bit, but still up and running. Nice 360 over the box jump, clearing it perfectly. And here we see it,
scraping the coping on top.
Yep, and that's what caused the rotation to slow down. Still got the bike around, but didn't manage to put her feet up on those pedals. And that will keep her into 6th position for now.
Fan Zhewe from China. Right now, she has that 2nd position in the overall ranking.
And dropping in as that minute starts to wind down. Backflip, turn down, yes sir. Beautiful. Turn down, transferring over the hip. Nice height on her. Yep. That's that speed, that's that height. Yes, 360 tail whip. Again, stomping it again this time. Tabletop transfer. Really great run out here. Can over the hip.
The Chinese team and her coach, Daniel Adair's, cheering her on.
Come on, Fan.
As she makes her way through this park.
Yeah, look back transferring. X-up over the Spox feature. X-up. And now these are the critical last seconds of her run. Those last 10 seconds, what will she bring to the table?
Will she beat?
And I think her coach is yelling at her, keep it going, keep it going. Yeah, nice solid turn down to end things, landing a little bit low. And I think her first run will count because
it's gonna be a tricky one.
Somewhere around the 10-second mark, she...
You're crazy.
when a legend like Daniel Dares calls you crazy, you can be sure you're crazy. And crazy as in the good crazy. Pulling everything.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Landing a bit back wheel heavy, almost going to a manual on that backflip.
Look back right there.
Yes. So the difference between a turn on and a look back is it's a look back when you are doing your air in the opposite way, actually looking back at the ramp that you're crossing.
Yeah. To all the spectators that are watching you on deck, you can take a little look back when you're doing your look back. And she almost landed in a manual on that backflip turn down, but landed perfectly in the end.
Scores coming in.
Yep.
86. 82.36.
So she will keep that first score, securing that second position for now. Currently ranked third.
Chinese compatriots Hui Minju
out of Beijing, China. And as soon as this rider drops in, that clock will start ticking. 360 tuck no-hander, yes, beautiful. Bar spin over that spine step down. A 360 no-hander Egon is not an easy trick. Oh! 360 double bar or 360 bar, I'm not sure, but great execution. Anyways, bar spin tuck no-hander, really great. And as I mentioned before on her first run, she is the one that clears everything with ease. She's really got a nice flow in her run.
She was holding back in the qualifiers, but now she has given it a 200% in this finals.
Oh man, if she keeps it going, if she manages to pull it all the way to the end, she's got a really good chance of ending up on that podium today.
I mean, she might be able to win World Cups back-to-back, given the fact that she won the last stop at Montpellier. There is quite a big chance that she can win here in Brussels as well. But still, we have
hand her over that spine to finish things off. Really solid run. Yes. Doing it for Team China. And she's stoked. Rightfully so. Giving the little bow. Respect to the crowd. Giving thanks to the crowd for their energy. And I'm lucky and I'm very thankful that I'm not the judge right now, because it's very difficult.
So we have the judges right next to us here up on the tower, and this steam is coming off their heads. They're sweating. A lot of thought going into the judging process.
The way she started off that run, Egon, so well executed tuck no-hander. You can see her hands soaring up in the skies. Yeah. And here we have that slow-mo bar spin to
guiding the bars around.
Hander, and also there the tuck no-hander is perfectly executed.
I think a lot of the teams are going to use these slow-mo replays, so like take a look back at how they performed and to actually improve on the next stop.
And yes, she goes into the 90s. Yeah, very well done from the Chinese.
Breaking the 90-point barrier with that 91.4 score.
Yes.
Yes.
And as we were also mentioning yesterday, scoring-wise, if you get up in those 80s, that's already a really solid score. But to score in the 90s, that's when you know you're world class.
That's a barrier you're breaking.
Yeah, for sure. And here we have it for run number 2 out of Valeria Yubimova. Yeah, another barrel roll over the box jump to start things off. T-boggin over the Spox feature. One hand from the spine into that takeoff from the box jump. X up over the step up. Tire grab. X up. 360 over the spine, landing low, but still keeping it going. Where will she be headed? X up over the spine. Oh, landing low, but hanging on. So as long as the foot doesn't touch the ground, it's not that of a major problem. As soon as the foot touches, the judges will definitely take that into account. Last 10 seconds for Valeria here. Let's see what she's got. Does she have anything to finish off this run? Yes. Nicely executed tail whip air.
So Valeria right now living in France at Montpellier, and you can see Patrick Guimès nodding his head because he's also been training her next to his duties as the coach of the French team. So he's been helping her out as well.
Making the heart icon with her hands. There's that barrel roll. A little bit less tweaked out right there than the first run. Here's that, yeah.
Seed grab, crossing the bars a bit.
Kind of top tube grabbing there.
You know, it's going so fast in a run sometimes. You think you're going for the T-box, just hitting it. Sometimes you hit the seat, sometimes you hit the tube.
And there's that 360 where she landed a little bit low, but on the spine feature, it's always very difficult to catch that transition as you're going more so in the air than forward. Except over that hip, landing it really well.
So right now she has a 55.84.
Waiting in full tension to see how she will score on that second run.
Oh, we have the crowd still coming on here in Brussels.
Okay.
66, improving that score and pushing her up to the 10th place.
Not super stoked on it, but still.
So that was our third heat of riders. Still have one heat coming up. They're gonna get some practice in.
Check on 20 seconds. And there you have it for the highlight reel of heat number 3. That was some action-packed riding, and the Chinese really did dominate that heat as they are all scoring top 3 right now. And now we are having the heat number 4, which are top 6 qualified riders from Friday that are warming up. And the Brussels crowd is also warming up. A lot of people pulling into Josaphat Park to witness the great riding at this Hurricane Park. Sponsored by Fees Experience. On Instagram at Fees World. You can also follow the UCI BMX Freestyle at UCI BMX Freestyle on Instagram. Also the Urban Sessions here in Brussels at urbansessions.official. So here we have the starting list for heat number 4. Sibei Sun is another Chinese national. But we will be starting off with Villegas Serna. Queen Villegas Serna.
Queen Villegas Serna from Colombia. Good morning to everyone watching from Colombia. We're gonna look at your top rider.
Dropping in right there. Ticking off that clock, 360, start things off, landing perfectly, keeping the speed going. Yeah, X up over that Spox feature, landing smooth with the steez. I saw her ride in practice and she really got that steez. She's got that power also. Oh, except the other way around. That was cool, very original. Bar spin to tabletop,
oh,
yeah.
Yes.
That's that trick and style combined, something the judges will like. Yes, beautiful Euro table. Style-wise, she's won my heart already. Oh, casing a little bit there on that UCI quarter pipe. Manual over the Spox feature. X-up, 7 seconds. What she's got, bar spin up on the deck. And that will be time for Queen's first run.
Rocking that Red Bull helmet. It's really great to see that all these big brands are also putting their effort and their money into the women's categories as well, because they deserve it. Like, they've been putting in the effort, they've been putting in the tricks, and
yeah, you can tell that Queen is full BMX because she's got a metal necklace which is a BMX. So that means her heart is close to BMX. BMX lives in her heart. Here we're looking at the replay of her first run.
Pulling from.
Great air, great style on her. Out of Buga, Colombia.
Bar spin to tabletop, loving it.
Will she score in those 80s? There's a good chance she will, but will that be enough to top the top 3?
Like look at her coach's jersey. Like he has the Olympic rings right there. The dream, they're living the dream to go to the Olympics.
She does score in the 80s, 81.6, but that will not be enough to get into that top 3 for now. She will have another chance in her second run. As we go on to Sibei Sun, another Chinese national. Let's see if she will knock out her teammates out of that top 3, Egil.
Yeah, so she's also part of that Chinese training program being led by world-class athlete Daniel Dares, who was competing just yesterday in the men's semifinal. So he's doing 2 jobs this weekend, both working on himself to score some points and also coaching the women's Chinese team. Sibei Sun.
Dropping in. Oh, yes, sir. Double truck driver over the box jump, starting things off. That's a really big trick. Oh, Sui over the Spox feature, and what a great extension on that suicide. Another suicide, and as you can see, she really extends her arms all the way to the back. That's what judges like to see on that trick. Bar spin over the Spox.
With the tire grab. Suicide no-handers like the one that we just saw, that takes a lot of courage to pull that one off.
Yep. Bar spin transferring into the wall, landing a little bit low, but still over that Spox feature. Tuck no-hander. And that's also something the judges are looking for. She puts a trick on pretty much every air she does. So very important.
Also using every nook and cranny of the park that we have here.
Over that really big box jump to end things. And that will do it for her first run. Really, really solid start of that run where she did a 360 double bar over the box jump.
So in this final of 24 riders, we have 5 Chinese riders, with 3 of them currently having the top 3 spots. We're gonna take a look back at the replay here.
Yeah, there was that 360 double bar. Beautiful suicide no-hander. And she did, I think, 2 or 3 suicide no-handers in that run.
Quick little tire grab.
Easy.
Tail there's calling it easy. So is she gonna make the podium?
I think just like Queen, she will score in the 80s, but will that run be enough to get her in the top 3? We will have to wait and see.
Her Chinese colleagues coming up.
Ah, man, she just nearly misses podium right there with an 85.45 as her first score.
But that means we have a top 4 consisting of only the Chinese team, absolutely dominating the urban sessions here in Brussels.
All right, and now we're heading up to Macarena Perez out of Santiago, Chile. She is your 4th place qualifier. Getting into the zone right here.
She was also one of the first Olympians to compete in Tokyo, and now she's here in Brussels, 360 down, that step down spine.
T-bogging. Tuck no-hander into the takeoff of the box jump, tabletop. T-bog, nice extension on those bars.
Ale, 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 ale from her teammates.
Yep. Hitting that hip really nicely, pushing through on the transition. Oh, a little bit of a suicide no-hander, but doesn't fully extend the arms. Come on, Macarena, what you got?
So this Monster Energy athlete is really pushing it on this course here. Also doing it for Vance Oakley and Sunday Bikes.
And that will be time for Macarena. I'm not sure if she will be fully satisfied with that first run. There you got Victor Minuzo giving her some pointers. Victor also a competitor on the World Cup series. There's that great 360 down a step down. Tuck no-hander, and oh my God, she did a tuck no-hander and almost missed her bars. I'm so glad that she was able to recover in time, and we didn't even notice that from the booth.
Nah. I mean, just look at the focus she has in her eyes while she pulls that toboggan. Like, oh, perfectly a dip in the toboggan, twisting the bars 90 degrees, grabbing the seat. Like, that's the way that the judges want to see these tricks being performed.
And that was a perfect pull all the way, that toboggan. So that score, that run will put her into 11th place for now with a 72.84. She puts a thumbs up. She's like, okay.
That's for sure.
I probably think that she wants to improve on it for the second run. Hungry out here. And for our fourth rider, your third place qualifier
is going to be Zhang Zheng from Beijing, China.
Backflip starting things off on that step up. Tire grab. Boom, big tail whip transfer. Tuck no hander over the Spox feature. 360, oh, and she cased on that spine, but she's all right.
Yeah.
Looks like she's all right.
Oh wait, did she sprain her ankle or nah? She's standing up. I think she's just bummed out.
Yeah,
because of that
luckily
crash.
She was wearing a full face because she went straight to the ground, and the crowd is giving her some applause, giving her some support. So let's see how she will recover for that for her second run.
Now she is the 2022 Chinese champion.
Yeah, and the way she started off that run, you could tell why. Very solid, very much at height, very well execution of those tricks. But then when she went for that spine, she hung up, and a spine is unforgiving when you hang up. Tail whip transfer right there. And here you see it, that 360, she hangs up and just bounces forward, unable to bail out of it.
Good thing she had that full phase on.
Yes. And she's scoring a 32 right now, which is a logical score because she crashed. And here we have Hannah Roberts out of the USA, your current Olympic champion.
Olympic silver medalist Hannah Roberts.
I'm sorry.
But multiple title world champion.
And winner of the Diriyah Stop of the Feast experience. Hannah Roberts, Team USA.
21 years old. She's really putting her name out there. Writing BMX history, starting off with the backflip no-hander.
Yes, tail whip. Down that spine, step down. Transferring from the UCI quarter into the bank. Bar spin over the Spox. X-up.
Very
360, but hanging up just a little bit.
Very
we were talking
so
about
far.
this Hurricane Park. They have some really big features, and it's not easy to clear everything in your run.
Now she has the benefit of qualifying so high in qualifiers that, you know, she has seen what the other riders were doing. She knows what she's going to need to claim a top 3 spot in this World Cup. No-hander.
Yeah, and talking about head honchos in the women's competition, Hannah Roberts is definitely one of those head honchos, one of those big names.
She got the first spot in Al Diriyah in Saudi Arabia. Like at every stop, like she is doing top 5s, top 3s.
Giving it thanks to the crowd right there. And we'll see how the judges will score that. She did have a little bit of a hang-up somewhere here and there, but that backflip tuck no-hander to start things off was huge, and that will make up for a nice score. Tail whip over the spine step down.
Now next month we have the World Championships coming up at the, in Glasgow. So the BMX Freestyle World Championships, where she will have to defend that honor of the rainbow jersey she's sporting right now on course.
Super slow-mo tail whip and kind of cased, but not really. Like, still got all the transition in there, full speed.
You saw her grinning. I think she knows some stuff went wrong in that first run, but you know, she's still has a second run coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's definitely gonna have an over 80 score. You see, we have it, 85.63 points for Hannah Roberts.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Egon, that means that still the top 3 is Chinese, all Chinese, right?
Yeah.
And Hannah Roberts scoring at 85.63 for her first run. And now, let's go to your #1 qualifier, Nikita Ducaro. Doing it for Team Switzerland. Boom, 360 X-up to start things off. Bar spin to X-up, down the spine, step down. Going into the hip section, bar spin. Nice, airing out of that bank. 360 over the step up. Turn down. Nice and clicked. Yeah, tabletop.
Now she was a bronze medalist at the Tokyo Olympics. And now she's here to get those UCI points to get qualified for the Olympics in France next year.
Okay.
Bar spin the box.
Kind of tuck no handring before, but not fully letting go. Turn down over the hip, clicking that one nicely. 270 X-up over that hip. Yeah, finding some nice rhythm there. Can. Look back and X-up for her final trick. That will do it for Nikita Ducaro, your #1 qualifier.
Now she's doing it for Switzerland because her dad is a Swiss Frisch, Swiss French.
That's a tongue breaker.
Yeah, her mom being an American, so that's why she has this Swiss nationality. And now she's not only working on her physical health, but also she's been putting a focus on mental health through her Instagram account, Mind Tricks. So the I in mind being a 1, where she talks with other athletes about the pressure that they have while performing and how it affects their mental state and their happiness, talking about depression. A lot of these riders are sometimes struggling with all this pressure going on. You know, you gotta be out there, you gotta put down the results, and you know, you gotta take some time. Take care of yourself, take care of what's going on in your mind, and she's really vouching for that.
But right now we're taking a look at the replay with some of those amazing tricks that she pulled in the run. She is standing at the bottom of the ramp right there, looking at the scoreboard. Doing it for Red Bull.
So she used to be a really good football player up until the age of 12, and that's when the competitiveness of football really got to her.
Oh,
and she had a hiatus
she
of
scores
sports.
a 7th spot right there, 85.16. So Nikita will definitely try and improve on that run as she's looking for a top 3 spot. Back to the top of this heat #4, Queen Villegas Serna. And dropping in. Bar spin X-up over the step up, start things off. X-up the other way. Little tabletop transferring into that bank wall. Bar spin to tabletop, yep, loving that. Opposite, 1 foot tabletop. Bar spin. Yeah, Euro. Similar run, but really great execution across the board. Hanging up a little bit there, but making up for it with a little crank. X-up over the box jump, clearing it perfectly, keeping the speed going. Nice flowy run right here. Tabletopping over the Spox feature. Oh, and a knack. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. 360 to the flat of the box jump. 10 seconds. What you got, Queen? 1 foot. And now she's going to have to put an exclamation point at the end of that run. And she did not have enough time to put on an extra trick. But solid second run from Queen Villegas Serna.
Get hydrated because the weather is hot.
Nice high five from her Colombian coach.
Let's take a look back at the highlights.
Here's that X up. Then she goes back and X up the other way around. I think she's doing a tabletop here, yep.
Putting it flat.
And as you can see, the foot goes over the crank, which enables her to really twist the bike upside down.
Like scooping up that back end.
That'll put her into 9th place, and that's her first score that'll count. Her first run puts up with an 81.6. 9th spot for Queen. And it's back to Sibei Sun, the Chinese national. Oh yeah, she's practicing the double bar, so we can expect to see a double truck over the box jump again. Taking a little breather.
She's gonna wait for
moment of meditation right there, right before dropping in.
Oh, using the drop in the music to drop in as well for Sibei Sun.
Bar spin, double truck right there over the box jump. Starting things off, over the spine, keeping it going. Truck driver over the spine, beautiful. Yeah, suicide, no-hander over the box jump, great extension. Yet again, X up right there. Bar spin over the spokes. Tire grab. She does stay into that section a little bit of the park. Oh, now she's heading up to the step up, T-bogging over it. Tuck no-hander over the spine step down.
Yeah, sticking to the spokes and spine setup. Hasn't hit the hip jumps yet or the pocket part of the skate park. So that might cost her some points. Talking about park use. And here she's heading for that hip.
Yeah.
Getting some points there as well.
Yeah, towards the end of her run, she's using all the course. X up. And that won't count anymore. That 360 over the big box jump doesn't count anymore, which might actually be good because she did put her foot down.
That's gonna be up to the judges. Like the buzzer just went off as she hit that jump, which means it started.
I heard from one of the male competitors yesterday that they kind of changed the rules on it, that you have to already land before the buzzer goes. Otherwise, it doesn't count. It used to be if the buzzer goes and you're mid-air, oh, there's that 360 double bar, perfect execution. Hucking herself over the spokes. There's that truck driver over the spine, landing perfectly. Bar spinning over the spokes. Very solid bar spin skills from Sibei Sun. And there's that. Oh, now she was hucking over the spine right there, really setting her up, keeping that speed for the next feature.
So right now she has that 5th spot with the 85.45. Hannah Roberts just above her with 85.63. And then she breaks into the top 3 with an 87.85 for Sibei Sun.
Knocking out her fellow countryman, Miss Fan, out of that top 3 spot. Macarena Perez getting ready to hit her 2nd run.
Another one of our Olympic athletes from Tokyo 2020 or 2021. Dropping in with the no-hander step-up transfer. Step down 360. Yes. Really nice X up. Now she's lining up again. Getting the speed for the hip. And it looks like something is wrong with her bike.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
I think she had a mechanic doing a ghost ride. I don't know what went wrong there. I hope we're gonna see it in the replays.
Yeah. Would be nice.
Her tricks were looking good. Didn't look like she slipped the pedal. Maybe she has a puncture somewhere. Maybe her brake cable slipped. Who knows?
Yeah.
She looks pissed.
We might not be able to find out because we don't have any information about what is happening with that kind of stuff. But here you see the beginning of her run. Nice 360 down that spine step down. Here you have it in slow motion.
Let's see, but maybe we didn't see it on camera, but it can happen. Like if you clip or case on a cooping, like
oh yeah,
that can pinch your tire. And oh, like see, like she got it perfectly.
That was smooth. Maybe somewhere else in her run she might have clipped it, or she might have landed a little bit sideways. And if that happens, your wheel misaligns, and she will keep that first score, obviously, putting her into 13th place. And I know she's bummed about that. Always a bummer when the bike fails on you.
Like often you see these riders double checking, triple checking their bike just before a run, so it's like 100% clear, like everything's tightened down. But now, right now, we're checking Qian Zheng.
Perfect backflip up on that step up, really landing smooth, tail whip transfer.
Now she had that crash on that 360 earlier on, and yes, here she makes it.
So it's amazing to see how she has recovered, because that was not a light crash.
And that's gonna give her a boost to perform throughout the rest of that second run.
Turn on onto that bank, going over the box backwards. 540. Yes, sir. Beautiful.
I think that was
turn down on the hip right there.
That was the first in this female competition, right?
It might have been, yeah. Except over the hip. Little except right there over the hip again. Finding some rhythm in this park course. Tire grab over the spine feature. And that will be time for the Chinese national.
I think that 540 is really going to make her stand out from the rest of the competitors. Oh, look how hyped she is.
Yeah. I mean, if you crash like that and you come back for it and you pull down a run like that, you're allowed to throw your bike, in my opinion.
That's a comeback. That is a comeback. And like I've seen this happen at other competitions as well.
Daniel is all smiles. Daniel there's the head coach of the women's national team for China. He is hyped. And you know, Daniel, as a professional athlete, he also likes to see riders come back from a crash and still performing. That's just great sportsmanship, great athleticism.
So right now she is still in that last spot. Look at that, the 360 where she got a redemption on. No hander.
No hander.
I hope we're gonna see that 540. Ah, here we have it, 540, yes.
And this is the end of her run where she celebrates, and rightfully so.
So right now, still in that last position because of the crash in her first run.
But you can be sure that she will improve.
Is she gonna break the 80 mark? Is she gonna break the 90 mark? We will find out together with you guys on the live stream.
There's a good chance she will end up in top 3 with that run.
So right now in first place, we have Huimin Zhu on camera. I think she knows that Qian Zheng can beat her.
Yep, and that's the tension.
She's in the hot seat right now.
They are teammates, so it's kind of a double feeling, I guess. And Mr. Daniel there is in the background right there, really just super proud of his team.
And I see the judges, they're about to enter their scores into the tablets.
Yeah, we have Brian Kaczynski, the head judge, right next to us, putting in everything, looking with a critical eye.
Taking the last look at those results before they're gonna hit the enter button and send all the points over to the servers. And it's coming in.
Oh, an 85.13. So she will not end up in the top 3, but you can also see how close those scores are.
I mean, compared to Nikita Ducaro, like she has just like a mere 0.03 points less than her.
And the whole top 8 up until 5 is in the 85s.
Like so sometimes it just comes down to like this split point, you know?
And I can totally understand it because all those runs are very similar.
All right, next up is gonna be world champion silver Olympian medalist Hannah Roberts.
Currently ranked number 5, but she will definitely want to improve on that. And we know that she has some really big tricks, Egon.
All the way from Jacksonville, North Carolina, USA. Let's see what she has up her sleeve. Backflip no-hander.
Starting off the same way as she did the first run, 360, down that step-down feature, tail whip transfer, beautiful, tuck no-hander. Yeah, Hannah.
She knows how to do a winning run, but will it be enough to beat Hui Minju? 360 to step up, onto the spine, flare.
Oh, yes. Nice flare from Hannah. Yeah, beautiful
Stretch
tuck no-hander.
And we're halfway, that second run. Bar spin, come on, Hannah.
What's really important for Hannah right now is that she keeps the flow, she keeps the speed going, doesn't case on any of these features. Yeah, beautiful 360. And you can see the American flag waving right there. Tail whip over the spine. Come on, Hannah.
Straight to the pedals, manual this box. Last seconds are going in. Bar spin, tabletop, and
yes, bar spin up on the box to finish things off. Big shout out to Hannah, that was a great run. Yeah.
She is
Well
psyched.
BMX. So good out of the American Hannah Roberts, putting the fist bump up. So she will need a 91.4 to beat Jo Hyung-Min. That's that backflip tuck no-hander, how she started things off. Big tail whip transfer. 360ing on that big step down spine feature. Spotting her landing, looking through the handlebars. And really with her back wheel onto the coping, so you can't really call it a case, I guess.
Now she had that second place at FIS Montpellier just a couple of weeks ago. Because the event was rained out, they had to use the results from the semifinals. So
and
right here,
that beautiful whip over the spine mid-run. Here towards the end of her run, you can see the stoke on her.
so now we're waiting for the scores to come in. We see Ryan Nyquist. He's smiling, but I guess like he's stressing right now as well.
Those might be stressy laughs. And Hannah's talking to her coach, Ryan, about how she experienced that run. But like all the way through the end, she was really solid, really consistent, Egon. So the judges will definitely take that into account.
So looking back at the hot seat with Hui Minju.
Oh! Barely misses it. Just
that second spot.
Just a mere 2.3 points away from that leader spot.
So we still have one more rider for her second run, and that's going to be the Swiss Nikita Ducaro.
Nikita Ducaro putting herself into that first spot for qualifications. So this is her second run. And how did she score on her first run, Egon? At 85.16.
In 7th place right now. She is being coached by Daniel Wedemeyer from Holland. So shout out to Daniel as well. And let's see how his protege is gonna perform. She's the last rider here. She still has a chance to beat the score of Hui Minju.
Drop it in, 360 accept, starting things off. Bar spin to accept, down the spine, step down. Beautiful execution, tuck no-hander there. Bar spin on the hip, accepting out. Yeah, nice air on that bank. 360 can-can, landing really well. Turn down. Come on, Nikita, this is a good run.
Doing it for Mongoose Bikes, Red Bull Omega.
Accept over the sparks. Transferring from the spine into the takeoff of the box jump. Come on, Nikita, this is looking good. Tuck no-hander to accept. Just missing the extension on the tuck no-hander. Nice, can-can.
Turn down.
Looking good. 360, 270 accept. And she's going in that last 10 seconds.
10-second buzzer.
Come on, let's go, Nikita. Look back.
Oh, yes. Can-can.
And that will be time for Switzerland's Nikita Ducaro. So I am not sure if she will be able to knock down Hyun-Min Soo off of that first spot. I feel like the overall feel of the run was really great. She pulled down a really solid run, nice flow, nice height. great execution on most of the tricks, but she did miss some of those really big tricks.
So back to the hot seat with Hui Min-ju. Like she know, Nikita, she was the last rider
There you have it.
who
That
might put up
a lot of
quite the
those,
competition.
a lot of those accept combinations that she was doing. Here you see the bar spin and then the accept afterwards. Yep.
You know, with her being the protege of Daniel Wedemeyer, we might see her doing fufunus on some back rail maybe at the next competitions. So Daniel, if you're watching this, please teach this girl how to do fufunus on back rails.
Yeah, she can probably already do those, but it's a very risky move to pull in competition. And Nikita, she didn't play it safe, but she just put down a really solid run and a really nice flow.
Clicked look backs, locked out knack-knacks and can-cans.
I think that she will not take the first spot because she missed those really big tricks.
Look at Ju.
Yeah, almost biting her nails.
Oh man, she is stressing. Is she gonna take the win at this Urban Sessions, this third stop of the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup?
There's a good chance that she will, Egon.
We're gonna find out any second now. We still see the judges here entering the last digits of the scores that they have been giving for the creativity, for the style, for the performance of the tricks.
And so Nikita is looking at that scoreboard together with Hymin Soo.
Let us know what you think of this competition right here, about the riding of these girls. Like, we have seen some amazing tricks, so get involved through all our socials. Use the hashtag, #FeesWorld, #Fees, #FWS2023. Or just comment on the live stream. If you're watching right now, please do tell us where you're watching from.
You can also visit the official website of the Fees, which is fees.fr, or you can go to the UCI official website, that is uci.org.
It's taking quite a lot of time to get those scores, and like you can see on screen, you see Brian Kaczynski like with his hand gestures about the points, so we're not sure what's going on. See, it's a tough choice. Brian Kaczynski is the head judge, so he is checking every score that has been given to him. He's having that final review. Next to him, we have Axel Jurgens, Luka Kovic, Luke Christie, and Igor Vukadinovic.
And when you have to make these kind of judging decisions, it's good that they take their time.
I mean, the fact that it's taken so long means that there is a tie. There is a tie, and they're gonna need a tiebreaker.
Oh man. I don't think it will be with Hymin Soo, but might be one out of the top 3, might be one out of the top 5.
So now on stage, we're already setting up.
And there you have it. Yes. So Nikita will place 4th, and you have your winner,
Hui Min-ju from Beijing, China, claims the first spot here at Urban Sessions in this BMX Freestyle World Cup. And look at the whole Chinese squad being hyped.
This is a beautiful moment for Team China right here. Really great. Some of the coaches, Daniel at the helm. Oh, and just 3 of the Chinese riders giving each other a really big hug.
So we're gonna have a look at the final results. In first place, we're at Hui Min-ju. Second place, Hannah Roberts. And then the podium being finished, completed with Xia Hongling. Then in fourth place, Nikita Ducaro. Then Shiba Shun, Xie Weifan, Natalia Diem, and some other amazing talents here today at Urban Sessions in the beautiful capital of Belgium, Brussels.
And Hannah Roberts getting that 2nd spot right in between all those Chinese women.
That's going to give her some motivation for the World Championships next month in Glasgow. And we still have 2 other stops coming up in this World Cup. So it's not only this contest or Montpellier or Algeria, we still have the next contest coming up as well in a couple of weeks, which is going to be in China, in Bazong.
So here we have the overall ranking of the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. Hannah Roberts currently in top position.
Followed by Hui Min-ju with the 2,350.
Sibei Sun in 3rd spot.
So talking about the Chinese dominating the competition, we're gonna have a look at the next World Cup in Bazong, China.
And boom. It's all good. All right, and we are ready for the top 3 interview. So
right now we're setting up the podium on the park here at Parc Josaphat in Brussels.
You have some of the Brussels region delegates who are here to hand over the trophies to your top 3 of today's women's competition, Brussels Urban Sessions.
So the thing is, Brussels is actually a bilingual city, so we both speak Dutch and French here. So there is quite a... I'm going to take a look at the winning run again from Hui Minzhou. Starting off with that 360 no-hander, step down, bar spin. Yes, tabletop, really good flat. As you can see, no flaws, no errors. She's really putting down that solid run.
Yeah, and she was one that really stood out as well because she did everything at height, clearing all of the box jumps, all of the features. She never cased her back wheel on anything.
I think the key word here is consistency, like having those tricks dialed in, not making any flaws, no pedal slips, not putting a foot down, and just like, you know, tweaking
exactly,
X up as well, like going past a 180.
You want to see a lot of different things. You want to see height, you want to see the difficulty of tricks, you want to see the flow, you want to see the speed, you want to see the execution of tricks, and Hui Minzhou did that the best today. There you have that tuck no-hander transferring.
And it was a complete run as well, like she's been using all the time on that clock. Now we're gonna listen to what Catfish has to say to all your viewers back at home. We're gonna give the podium to him.
Okay, what a competition that was. Brussels, thank you guys for the energy. One of the top, most exciting female finals we have ever seen. Let's see our podium. Presenting the 3rd place is the Alderman of Sports, Thomas Erali. In 3rd place, from Team China, Xiao Hong Lin. Presenting the 2nd place honors, the Secretary of State's here in Brussels, Barbara Tracht. In 2nd place, representing Team USA, Hannah Roberts.
The American. She's all smiles. Getting a big hug from Catfish, fellow countryman. Receiving the 2nd place trophy right there from one of the Brussels officials.
And presenting 1st place honors, the Mayor of Schaerbeek, Cecile Jadonia, your champion here at Urban Sessions Brussels 2023 from Team China, Zhou Huimin.
Yeah, representing China with that flag.
And she's getting that prize from the mayor of the district of Schaerbeek here in Brussels.
Ladies and gentlemen of Brussels, these are your champions!
Okay, so this was your women's final here at the UCI BMX Freestyle World Cup. at the urban sessions. We're gonna take a final look at our top 3. These women have put down an amazing show for us, and they have scored their UCI points, chasing their Olympic dream.
Look at this beautiful image of the top 3. Thanks, Bessie.
Allez, dans quelques instants, on va lancer les practices pro chez les hommes pour cette finale de Coupe du Monde.